You know when a piece of gear just changes the way you see? That's exactly what happened the first time I paired the Remus Blazar anamorphic lenses with the URSA 12K LF. Now, I was expecting a lot when I ordered them, more than just a few cool flares and a vintage touch, but honestly, when they came in, what I got felt more like a shift in philosophy. Because these lenses don't just capture the images, they capture imperfection in the best way possible. So let's talk about what makes this combo special and where it may need some work. I've shot on everything from Cooke to Atlas to Canon to Sigma, and the Remus Blazar lineup hits this weird sweet spot between cinematic imperfection and modern precision, especially when you couple it with the URSA 12K LF. The large sensor format really lets these lenses breathe. There's something about the way the edges fall off, the way the bokeh blooms, and the way skin tones sit right between filmic and surreal. So the first thing you'll notice is the texture. These lenses don't try to hide their character. They lean into it. There's micro contrast, subtle halation, and that unmistakable anamorphic squeeze that just makes things feel alive. When you combine that with the URSA's 12K resolution, you're getting this insane combination of clinical detail wrapped in this romantic distortion. It's funny, I was talking to my brother about this, but it's like painting with a scalpel. You can see every pore, every ripple in the fabric, but it still feels emotional and not sterile. Now, Blackmagic's color science already has this dense filmic roll-off in the highlights, but these lenses amplify it. The Remus coatings give you this slightly desaturated mid-tone, which I love because it gives you room to push warmth and richness in post without crushing the image. On skin, the tones are very neutral, so it's not overly magenta, not green. It honestly feels like shooting 35mm that's been cleaned up for digital. So physically, the build is very solid. And the other thing about it is that they are much smaller than you would think, especially if you've used anamorphic in the past. You know that they're big, heavy, kind of clunky, tough to move around, but these lenses have a great combination of older, character and texture and aesthetic, but with a modern build. For the size they are kind of heavy, or they have a good weight to them. But in comparison to other anamorphic lenses, they're light and easy to move back and forth and swap lenses out, which is awesome. So now the drawbacks, because every lens has them. At wide apertures, you're going to see some softness, vignetting, especially on the wider focal lengths. When it comes to the 125, which is the widest focal length I have, it gets pretty crazy how you have to dial things in, because when you shoot at it, if you're trying to shoot wide open with that, it is almost impossible to do so without having some crazy lens effects. Now, it can be fun if that's something you want. If you want the chromatic aberration and the halation, then that could be cool because you would definitely get it when you're shooting wide open on that lens. But if that's not what you want something cleaner, you're going to really have to dial it in or use a ton of light, because you're going to have to be shooting at f6, 7 or something to get rid of all of that lens distortion. So if you're thinking about pairing the Remus Blazars with the URSA 12K LF, here is my honest take. It is not for everyone. But if you're obsessed with texture, storytelling, and emotion through the glass, it might just be the perfect combination. This combo is cinematic, painterly, and unapologetically human. When you're using them together, you're not just recording, you are capturing these moments and really bringing your character and your storytelling elements to it. I'm Brandon Borrega with the Borrega Brothers, and if you're into storytelling, cameras, lenses, and lighting, please subscribe, drop a comment, and tell me what lenses you're shooting on right now.